Hello and welcome to Talkin Oscars, a podcast about the celebration of film, awarding art, and beautiful people wearing beautiful clothes.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Irma.
We are a married couple whose love of movies, celebrities, campaigns, and shiny gold statues cannot be contained, so we've decided to share our thoughts, opinions, cheers, and occasional jeers on Oscars' biggest night.
3.5 hours later.
It is midnight in Brooklyn, New York. We just finished watching the 95th Annual Academy Awards. On the last bonus episode that we posted, we predicted 19 awards. Not all of them, because we didn't feel equipped to predict the shorts and the documentaries that we didn't watch, sorry. And we did honestly a little bit. My mistake was actually thinking that Elvis would do anything, and it didn't. So Irma picked 13 of the 19 correct. I only got 12. It turns out All Quiet on the Western Front swept all the below the line stuff,
yeah.
And then Everything Everywhere All at Once basically won everything else, including Best Screenplay, which was another miss by me.
And me too. I didn't have that. Yeah,
Yeah.
original screenplay.
I think I talked you into that one, though. You were waffling a bit.
Well, I think I was waffling with Tar. I was thinking about
Mm,
choosing Tar. But yeah.
But before the festivities kicked off, we watched another 3 hours of the champagne carpet this year, not red. It was a nice off-white champagne. And
Interesting choice.
Irma's got her thoughts on Best Dressed nominees.
Yeah, because a lot of the women wore white. White was a big color. And I feel like that contrasting on the champagne carpet didn't look so well. I feel like they should have just kept it a red carpet. But anyway, some of my favorite dresses or people that I saw tonight were, I loved what Mindy Kaling was wearing. She was wearing a white dress by Vera Wang. I really loved the boning and the sleeves. And then she had the same exact dress that she switched into for the actual ceremony in black. I liked the white one better. I just thought it popped off of her skin. And she looked stunning, I thought.
Agreed. The white one looked great.
Yeah.
The black ones look good also, but I don't know why she switched. I guess for inside, she wanted to be a little more understated than red carpet, champagne carpet. Because she was presenting, so she did get on stage.
Who else was in white? Michelle Yeoh was in white. She was wearing a very dreamy Dior Couture dress, which I also really liked. And then someone who I loved, Emily Blunt. Wah, wah, wee, wah, as Zach would say.
Wow.
I thought she looked stunning. It was simple and modern. It was a dress by Valentino. She just looked unbelievable. I think she's like hands down my favorite one of the night.
Very sleek.
Yeah, very sleek. I loved it.
No John, though. She came with The Rock.
Yeah, kind of weird. He didn't look good. I have to, whatever. I'm not going to say anything bad about anyone, but
We're being positive.
yeah, definitely want to be positive. Ana de Armas looked great, even though I kind of wish she did something with her hair, but regardless, she definitely still looked really great. I loved Cara Delevingne's dress. It was like a big, beautiful, asymmetrical red dress by Elie Saab Couture. That was stunning. And then this might be a polarizing statement, but I actually really liked what Florence Pugh was wearing. It was like this cool silver like cape. And then underneath she had this like black romper with like pockets that she kept like putting her hands in. And that was by Valentino Couture.
It was almost like Tar when they first showed her for you, because it was basically belly button up. You went, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then we saw the full thing and she popped the leg out and showed the shorts. It was like as you understood more of it, you liked it more and more.
Well, also, I liked it on her. I just feel like I don't think many people can pull this off. She's young. She also is like there for what was it, Puss in Boots? You know what I mean?
So funny.
It's not like she's nominated. She's just having fun. It was like it was pretty punk. Like her hair was cool. I don't know. I just like enjoyed that she was just having fun. Like she was there to present. She presented with Andrew Garfield, and I was, as soon as I saw them together, I'm like, oh, couple alert.
Hold on. Andrew Garfield is 39 and she's 27. So that's a decent gap. How about Paul Mescal? That's what I'm saying.
Do you know her ex-boyfriend?
No.
Oh my God, what's his name? From Garden State.
Zach Braff?
Zach Braff.
You forgot a Zach?
I know. Zach Braff, her ex-boyfriend. How old is he?
Older than 39.
Yeah, way older than
All right.
39.
It was really funny. We were watching the E broadcast, and when they would pop back to not Laverne Cox, the people in the booth,
Yeah.
they were just praising Florence Pugh, which is totally valid, about her being basically the hottest actress around and how she really embodies her characters and gets all these emotions. And then immediately like she's here celebrating her role as Goldilocks in Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a really funny juxtaposition from that praise to what she was actually there for.
Yeah. And then just someone else I want to shout out is Angela Bassett. I thought she looked so beautiful in that purple dress by Jeremy Scott. It was just like around her shoulders. It just made her body look so good. I thought she looked stunning. Yeah, and I would say that's like everyone I want to shout out. I mean, Janelle Monáe, like, wow. I know, Zach, you loved that one. I thought that was really cool.
Monáe.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
She was beautiful. Yeah, it was a cool dress, too. I've never seen something like that on the red carpet. I really liked it.
It was bold.
And it popped, I would say, off of like that champagne carpet, you know?
Yeah, I don't know if it was so much the carpet, it was the backdrop.
Yeah.
Because the backdrop was also basically an off-white. So
Yeah.
Michelle Yeoh specifically kind of got washed out in the pictures that I posted on Talkin Tent on Twitter. Little bit washed out, but when you saw it not in front of the white screen, it popped
Yeah,
more.
no. I mean, everyone looked really good. You know, I wouldn't say there was like anyone that I didn't like. I know you were like keeping track of the men's fashion. Any men you want to shout out?
Well, Harvey Guillermo from What They Do in the Shadows killed it. I thought
he
I
looked
loved.
good. I like that jacket.
He did the hair is obviously the thing that popped right away. Is like that Clark Gable super gelled down look.
Yeah,
but yeah, the jacket that was by Christian Siriano, who was on the E panel. He called it out as being made for a larger man, and it was just like a really nicely knit jacket with a flowing drape at the bottom of it. It was really cool. And then Michael B. and Jonathan Majors just always look so good. Michael B. accessorizes so well.
He does.
Famously,
those
he used to come a lot with the Virgil Abloh, those suspender things.
Mm-hmm.
This time he went with like two pins. And then Jonathan Majors just had like this old Western Southern Colonel thing going on, and he made it work.
Yeah, he made it look cool.
And then I thought it was funny, the one other thing, because Laverne Cox was just asking everybody what their story was with what they were wearing. And Austin Butler just went, well, I don't know what my story is. I just thought it looked nice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's a great answer. Then everybody shuffled into the theater and the festivities got going. Jimmy Kimmel came out and I thought was great.
Well, first they started off with like a montage. It was just like a short, like reel montage of like highlights of all of the movies from this year, not even the ones that were Oscar nominated, highlighting just like the making of movies and all the people that go into the making of these movies. And also like the show in general had that for every category that was presented. They had like either people on stage or they had costumes or they were showing clips of like the production. I don't know. It was just like really cool how they integrated the art of making movies into the Oscars, which I think is really important. I don't know why they've never done that in the past.
Yeah, we're suckers for a good behind the scenes look.
Yeah. Especially like the visual effects. I thought that was cool when they did that.
Yeah, when they were showing exactly what was pasted in and taken out. And it's always just cool to see because you see the finished product, but it's cool to see how it all happened.
Yeah. And I liked like the stage. I mean, it's always like a bit cheesy, but I did like the movie marquees and like they would like change for what category it was and then who won. And then whenever they would come back in for commercial breaks, they always had like an overhead shot of like the auditorium. And then like the seating was like lit in a really cool way. And it was color changing. And I don't know. I just thought it was cool.
Yeah, I think they went back to some just television producers.
Yeah, they did.
No shots to Soderbergh. Love him. But he's a movie maker. He made an interesting Oscars during the pandemic. But this time they just went to people that just know how to make TV. So I don't know. I thought the show in general worked really well. It only got boring for a tiny bit. And every time it kind of waned, Jimmy came out and lifted it just enough to get to the next
Jimmy
category.
Was so funny. I thought he did a great job. I mean, he had some jokes where I was like, okay. But no, he did good.
Yeah, I love him. He's our favorite Jimmy. He's kind of the only late night person that we watch. Mm-hmm. We don't watch it every night, but if there's one that we catch the YouTube clips on, it's Kimmel. So we're a little biased. But I thought he was great. he's hilarious. He's just so naturally hilarious.
He is, yeah.
And he didn't pull any punches, which I liked. He kind of, again, like Chris Rock, I'm starting to really like people just hating on Will Smith without any qualms. Just like, yeah, you just don't get up in the middle of a show and slap a guy.
Yeah.
So why are we sugarcoating it? Why are we trying to baby him?
I know.
So it's just funny that he kept going at it. And he took shots at some big guys too. Like Jim Cameron wasn't there and he kind of shamed him for it.
Yeah, don't you think that was kind of weird? Jim Cameron and both Tom Cruise were not there.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little weird.
They got nominated. I mean,
they should be there.
Yeah.
Especially like if you love movies as much as you say you do, you gotta like celebrate other people. Also, like, you know, like you just gotta be there to support. I was just kind of strange, I thought.
Yeah, that's maybe give them the benefit of the doubt that they had a decent reason. Who knows?
Yeah. Another thing that Jimmy did that I always love is that he always takes these digs at Matt Damon. And so he went out into the audience and was like asking people questions. And he went up to Jessica Chastain. He was like, oh, what was it like to work with smelly Matt Damon? And she was just so quick with her like response. She's like, oh, I didn't have to work with him that much, so he didn't smell so bad. I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
Yeah, long running Kimmel bit. I think
I know. It's so
the
good.
First season was just that Matt Damon always gets kicked.
Yeah.
And he just always hates on Matt Damon.
Yeah. Well, because also Matt Damon could take it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just good. And then I just want to shout out a couple of the presenters. Hugh Grant is always so charming, especially when he calls himself a scrotum. I was just like, what?
Yeah, I don't think that was scripted.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
oh my
just
gosh.
based on Andy McDowell's reaction.
Yeah.
She rolled with it, but it didn't seem like it was there. She was like, all right.
Yeah. And then I already said it, how Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield were just a perfect pair. But yeah.
Potentially both in the Marvel universe going forward also. Who knows?
True. I mean, I doubt Andrew Garfield's really going to do much in it, but all right, should we go to our picks and who actually won everything and how we did?
Yeah, we can blast through some of these categories, talk about how right or wrong we were. And we can start with an immediate wrong by us, although I would say a few hours after we recorded the predictions, we both started changing our mind of like, oh, actually, I think Jamie Lee is going to win.
So for best supporting actress, yeah, we both said Angela Bassett was going to win. But Jamie Lee Curtis ended up winning. And I have to say, I really enjoyed her speech. I like how she did we just won an Oscar to everyone who's ever supported her. And I just thought that was like a really beautiful sentiment.
Yeah, love that she called out genre filmmaking. Obviously, she's done some serious drama, like what you would consider Oscar award winning, I'm sure, through her whole career. But she's known for horror and action and things like that. It can't be ignored. I was watching Angela Bassett when they had the all five on the screen. She did a great job hiding it, but you could see it wasn't an immediate like, oh, good for you. Like some of them, you know, like Stephanie Hsu was just ready to celebrate. She knew that she wasn't winning it, and it's her co-star. But you know, there's people that know they're not winning and they're just ready to smile and be like, we love you. And Angela Bassett was a little annoyed and she covered it up.
I guess I didn't see. I wasn't looking at her.
The awards were similar. You know, it was a celebration of their careers. I liked Jamie Lee. We just watched Everything Everywhere All at Once again.
Yeah.
And I liked her better than I remember liking her. She did a good job. I kind of think Angela Bassett did a better job. I think the problem was that the movie in general was A, Marvel movie that maybe people didn't want to support, and B, not the best Marvel movie.
Yeah, not the best. Definitely.
So I guess if they were looking at not just the names, and it became obvious the rest of the night that Everything Everywhere, just people were just checking it down the list.
Yeah, swept, I mean.
So, you know, there were factors at play, but Angela Bassett definitely could have won that, and it would have been awesome.
I mean, I think the category really was kind of up in the air, because I even think like of the two people for Everything Everywhere All at Once, like Stephanie Hsu was kind of like mostly her. I don't know. I just thought Stephanie Hsu did an amazing job.
They were both kind of playing the villain at one point, back and forth. So they kind of get to play a little more than Kiwi Kwan and Michelle Yeoh, who were kind of carrying the story.
Yeah.
So the villain's the funnest thing to play, right? That's what everybody always says. But anyway, Jamie Lee, we were both wrong, but she deserved it. Had a great speech. It's the first time she's ever been nominated, and obviously the first time she's ever won. So
yeah, career Oscar.
And then the big one that we all knew, but we're still super excited for was Kiwi Kwan winning supporting actor. And he's so genuinely happy. In the movie, he plays a guy that's just, he's kind and he's patient. And it seems like that's just him.
Yeah, it really is.
He was so overjoyed with the moment and having this comeback. It's almost like Brendan Fraser had it also, but Kiwi Kwan's is even crazier.
Yeah.
Because he was just gone.
I loved it. Yeah, he was so cute. Really. He's so sweet. I love him.
Costume design, again, we got wrong. I thought people liked Elvis. I guess they don't.
So typically with like a Baz Luhrmann film, whenever he puts out a movie, he always wins all of these below the line categories, meaning like costume, production design, makeup, hair, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like an easy thing to like say, like, oh, it's a Baz Luhrmann film, let's just go for that. And also, like, Elvis really was great with all of those things, you know?
Sure.
But yeah, we got this wrong.
Ruth Carter, this was the site she won for Black Panther 1, and now she's won for Black Panther 2. She's famously the costume designer that's come up with Spike Lee in all of his movies.
Yeah.
So,
but now we need to get Spike Lee back in here. Also, I really loved Ruth Carter's dress. I thought that was so pretty. It was like similar to Emily's Blunt, except it had like a really big cape and it was yellow. And I just really loved it. Beautiful silhouette.
Another one that we got wrong, which this was my biggest surprise of the night. The rest of them, I was like, all right, yeah, that makes sense. You know, Jamie Lee, we knew as one of the other, and Ruth Carter, the costumes was like, all right, obviously she's won before. She can win again. Best original screenplay going to Everything Everywhere All at Once was really surprising to me. Even the tiny little clip of the Banshees of Inisherin that they showed when Colin Farrell was like, takes two to tango. And Brendan Gleeson's like, I don't want to tango. It's just like, even just that made me laugh. I just really appreciate a script that could be funny and then be super serious. I think parts of Everything Everywhere were funny, but I was hoping we can celebrate Banshees just there with how clever it was. But obviously people were just blasting down the line with Everything Everywhere.
Yeah.
No shots at them. Great movie. Liked it even more when we watched it again the second time. I just thought we could give a little shine on Martin McDonagh with this
I agree.
one.
I thought for sure this would be a Martin McDonagh Banshees of Inisherin win, and it's kind of disappointing that they didn't win anything because that movie's great. I actually
really
think like I don't know, it's so hard. Like I think Banshees might be one of my favorite movies this year. Besides Everything Everywhere All at Once, like I don't know if there's one I like more over the other, but it's definitely like they're both so close, and I just wish Banshees could have gotten a little more love.
Yeah, I think time will give
Banshees
love to Banshees.
Yeah, you're right.
And people will wonder what happened there. And we'll say, well, this crazy, awesome, multiversal, Asian, beautiful sci-fi flick just destroyed. And there was just no stopping it. Which, again, not mad at. Just interesting. And adapted screenplay, we were right about. So I was half right about best dialogue. So because there wasn't the juggernaut in the adapted screenplay, the best dialogue of women talking did win. Original song, they all performed. I guess we can talk about all the performances. I'm not sure. I feel like we go back and forth every year of should all the songs perform? It's not the Grammys. It's the Oscars. The songs are not that important, but it also gets Rihanna and Lady Gaga to the show. And it's a little break from just award speech, which is good. And then Natu was so easily the best performance.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a super fun performance. I feel like I even saw like, cause it was a huge like dance number. There was some alum from So You Think You Can Dance, which is a show we used to watch.
Still watch.
Yeah, well, when it's on, I know.
Big fans of So You Think You Can Dance. Whenever there is anything with a group of dancers that is broadcast on TV, I'm always looking at those faces like, oh, I recognize that guy. Oh, I recognize that girl. And Irma called out one of the dancers right away. I was like, oh, yeah, I see him.
So that was a fun performance. I thought Lady Gaga's performance was really cool. It was definitely very raw. The camera was so close up, which I actually didn't like because I felt like I couldn't see what was happening. But it really honed in on the fact that she wasn't wearing any makeup. Like she took off all of her glam makeup, which is cool. It's a cool thing that she did. And she like dressed down. She was wearing ripped jeans.
So they announced, it was like the big announcement before the show that, Lady Gaga is performing. It was for some reason she couldn't give them enough notice. And it was only released today that it was happening. So I'm assuming there wasn't really a rehearsal like the rest of the performances that were big and had dancers and all this stuff. Hers was just like, all right, I have my band. I have me. I'm going to wear all black and just come really close to me because it's an intimate song. And they were like, okay, because I don't know if they just didn't have it all planned out. That was my thought because they at no point zoomed out, right? Or maybe at the very
times,
end.
yeah, but it was just like very strange. I didn't really like it. And then the David Byrne, Stephanie Hsu performance for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Definitely don't want to say anything negative. I didn't love this. I didn't think it sounded very good. I thought the performance overall was really cool. Like, I liked everyone on stage. And I thought it was really fun how when David Byrne took out, like, moved his hands, so you saw he had the hot dog fingers, which was super cool. But in general, I wasn't thrilled about this one.
I'm going to say something a little bit negative. I love David Byrne.
Yes.
And I loved American Utopia. Sounded great. He had his band with him. This is now the second time that he tried to duet live with a female singer, and it sounded really bad.
Yeah.
He came out with Miley on New Year's, and they did a few songs together, and Miley sounded great, and he just sounded off.
Well, he's not like a singer like that.
Right. He has a very unique style, and it works for him, but I wouldn't call him a great singer. So when you're trying to duet, it sounded fine in the recording, but just live, that was the second time live that I was like, maybe we stop doing this, David. And you do you. We love it.
Well, I feel like if anything, he should have just done it by himself. Like, I love Stephanie Hsu. Like, it should have been like one or the other. Like, I don't think they should have done it together. And like, I think the song it's David Byrne singing, so I think he just should have done it himself. And like, I would have probably liked it a lot better.
Well, I think the recorded one is him and Mitski. So it's also a duet, but it's mixed and they're in a booth and he could just make it sound good live for some reason. He's getting old.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Well, I'm not going to talk about the Applause song. I didn't love it.
Yeah, we just didn't know it either.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, whatever.
And Rihanna was really good. If there was a second best, Rihanna was the second best.
So I was going to say, like, so Rihanna did the last musical performance of the night. I thought she killed it. She looked so good. And I love how they lifted up the stage. I mean, obviously the song was called Lift Me Up, but then at the same time, it's also mirroring her Super Bowl performance, which I thought was kind of fun.
Yeah, she can't get enough of being up in the air, danger, getting everybody nervous.
So she looked great. And then I guess the winner of original song was the Natu Natu, which we both predicted. It was really fun. And then I love how, like, with the acceptance speech, the people sang their acceptance.
The original score was another one that we got wrong in our predictions, but then very quickly as the night was progressing, we were like, oh, this is going to All Quiet. And I wrote down in the notes for our episode 10 when we talked about Woman King and All Quiet on the Western Front, we got kind of distracted just by how bleak and horrible it was and just working our way through that while we were talking about it. But I had in my notes that it was a World War I movie. And they had this very modern sounding drone sound in the score that happened over and over. And I really loved it.
It was like kind of like techno-y in a way, but like not. It was like more of like just like a couple notes.
Yeah.
And I remember, like especially like when the All Quiet on the Western Front, people kept winning, they would play that score. Yeah. And I was like, oh, right. I remember really loving this score. And I guess I just forgot that I liked it so much. Like, I think I went with the easy pick, which was, in my opinion, John Williams, just because it's John Williams.
Just the name, yeah.
But I should have like remembered how much I honestly did like All Quiet on the Western Front score. Like, it's a cool sounding score.
Yeah, the synth sound over
synth.
a very old looking movie.
Yeah,
was a cool way to kind of show the point of
the
movie through the score was like, this is still happening now. I imagine. I'm assuming, but I imagine he was aware of that, and he didn't use like just timpanis and trumpets like old war kind of stuff. I just went for the actually this was the one award that everybody was going down the list for Everything Everywhere All at Once that I predicted Son Lux was going to win, just because I was like, let's get the cool guys in there, and this was the one that All Quiet beat them out. And Best Animated Feature, Guillermo del Toro, as we predicted, won.
This is his third Academy Award win.
And I believe I saw he's the first person to win Best Director, Best Picture, and Best Animated Feature in his career.
Oh, wow.
And
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. And he really talked up animation.
Yeah.
He has like his little pets. So his monsters as animation, he said, animation is just movies. It's not a genre.
I also think he doesn't want it to be so like categorized just for kids. Like I think he wants to like make it more like more acceptable to have movies being animated, but like for everyone.
And also, why couldn't Pinocchio just be nominated for Best Picture? I
Yeah,
think that's what he was
exactly.
getting
Yeah,
at, too.
yeah. I mean,
Very few have been.
Yeah.
Some do, but very few. And the Daniels streak continued. Irma was a little nervous about Steven Spielberg creeping in there, but as the night progressed, it became obvious that the Daniels were going to win Best Director. And they seem so fun. They seem so genuine and humble. And it's so hard. I mean, we loved the movie, but I can't imagine even the people that maybe liked a movie better, not just watching them on stage and be like, hell yeah, we're pumped for these guys to, keep going.
Yeah.
It's just a really great Hollywood story. So early.
Yeah, and they're funny. They were funny on stage.
Yeah,
like they made some
funny.
jokes and yeah, just super enjoyable to see them so happy.
And then the big ones. So if you remember, we actually split actor and actress. We didn't agree. A lot of these awards we agreed on. Actor, Irma went with her heart and picked Colin Farrell. And I read the tea leaves and said Brendan Fraser was going to win. I was right. I'll openly admit that he had me weeping in the theaters. He won and he gave a great speech. Another just kind of great comeback story.
Yeah, so emotional. So emotional.
And then Best Actress, Irma was so pumped.
I was so happy. Michelle Yeoh won for Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think she completely deserved it. And I love that Halle Berry was the one to give her the Oscar. I thought that was beautiful. And yeah, we just need to have more women of color win Oscars and be nominated. So I love it.
True.
I mean, she did amazing.
They didn't know, I assume, when they asked Halle Berry to do it. So it could, I mean, not that it would have been horrible to have Halle Berry,
yeah, I mean, she
give Cate Blanchett
freaking amazing.
But there was obviously a reason why she was there as the first woman of color to win. And now Michelle Yeoh is the second, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, a great moment. Stephanie Hsu was crying. The second time I watched it, because the other day I was thinking about Best Actress, and Cate Blanchett is just an obvious showstopper. Like
powerhouse.
The whole movie just revolves around her performance. And then I was even thinking when I was watching The Fabelmans, I came out of it being like, all right, that movie was good. It was good. Nothing crazy good. But Michelle Williams, to me, was just this superstar that you watch and you couldn't help, but the camera just found her and she had a way to hone this just magnanimous light. And I didn't remember thinking, wow, Michelle Yeoh, when I walked out of that movie. I remember thinking, wow, that movie was crazy and awesome.
Yeah.
Then we rewatched it again this morning in a more intimate setting. We were on our couch, not in the movie theaters, because I didn't want to make these comments without having more. This was a year ago we watched it. So I wanted to just have a more informed opinion. And I was wrong. She was incredible. She embodied all of these different emotions, a strength, which she often does with her athleticism and her martial arts. But then there was a grace and a pain and a pathos that she just waffled between all of these. And it really worked by the end of it with the love and the affection that she was finally able to admit to or open up to and defy her father and open herself up to her daughter, which she never was able to before. Yeah, I no longer think this was just a, wow, great career, we're celebrating you. It was a genuinely fantastic
she 100%
performance.
deserved this, like no question. She was great. Deserved this 100%.
Yeah, Irma gave out a woo. She pumped her fists.
I know, I was really
the only one.
excited.
You were a little nervous that it was going to end with Cate Blanchett.
But I think like after like Jamie Lee won, I was like, there's no way they could give this to Jamie Lee and not Michelle Yeoh.
It became very obvious that Everything Everywhere was just taking everything.
Yeah, especially after they won writing. I don't know. I was just so happy. Like Michelle Yeoh carries this movie. There's no way you can reward everyone else and then not Michelle Yeoh. So yeah, I was very happy.
The one interesting thing about Cate Blanchett, so like Meryl Streep, that gets nominated a lot, and we all go, wow, 15 nominations or something with Meryl Streep at this point. Cate Blanchett's at 7. She hasn't won for a showstopper yet. She won for Blue Jasmine. That's a Woody Allen movie. So, And then she won for playing Katharine Hepburn in The Aviator. So I think she's still, I know Irma was saying the other day, She has to. She doesn't need another one. Fully very happy for Michelle Yeoh. Definitely deserved it. I think if this happens again and Kate Blanchett is nominated, which she will be, for something as powerful as Tar,
Yeah.
we can't say, oh, she has to, because what she won for was, they're kind of weird. They're weird ones. I mean, Blue Jasmine, she was amazing, but it's not a career definer. And I think had she had Tar and not up against the powerhouse that was Everything Everywhere and Michelle Yeoh, this is a career definer.
Yeah, I agree with that. She'll definitely have another one. I mean, she's amazing in everything she does. And I feel bad because I feel like I haven't been like as supportive of Kate Blanchett. But like, I think she's one of our generation's like greatest actresses or actors in general.
Yeah.
But I also just felt like I didn't know if Michelle Yeoh would ever be nominated again like this. And I absolutely know that Kate Blanchett will.
True. But
So that's kind of my...
Hopefully now Michelle Yeoh will. Hey,
Yeah,
Crazy
that's
Rich
true.
Asians 2 is happening.
I know.
So then we'll
No,
see
I mean,
what
I hope
happens
she
there.
will be. I'm not saying she's not going to, but it's just kind of like, I just feel like it's rare for a person like Michelle Yeoh to get nominated like that. But,
True.
you know.
Absolutely no denying it. It's the first one.
Yeah.
So statistically accurate that it's rare. And then the final one, which everybody knew, everyone on the champagne carpet, I think Son Lux in the interview with Laverne Cox basically said, I can't wait to be up there when the movie
Yeah,
wins.
they did.
It's like
yeah.
everybody just knew. Everybody that she asked, what other movie besides yours, to each of the actors or directors
Are you most excited? Yeah.
to a T, they all said Everything Everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
So the voting must have just been, I would like to see the
That's
ranked
true.
voting and how it panned out. What was even number 2? I imagine it was All Quiet. But by how much? It'd be so interesting. They never release it because they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But it'd be super interesting. Everybody got up there, super pumped.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was an amazing moment. Everyone was so happy. It was Harrison Ford who presented the award. And it was like a really beautiful moment. It's actually all over my Instagram of him hugging Kiwi Kwan now, plus him hugging Kiwi Kwan in Indiana Jones. And it was just like, it's just like a really sweet moment.
What we've said every time we've brought up the Oscars, and it had become pretty clear that somehow this really weird multiverse jumping sci-fi movie about an Asian family just trying to get by in with their laundromat won Best Picture. And it's really cool.
Yeah. Is that your favorite moment of the night? What is your favorite moment of the night?
Yeah, I think so. It's just a culmination. Nothing crazy happened, which is, good.
Yeah.
We awarded the people that should have been awarded. We celebrated movies. I just we love movies. So some of the things that people get annoyed about, like spending 5 minutes just with clips of movies that we love. I love that shit. That's why we're doing this.
I know, it's true. I was saying earlier with the In Memoriam, like I always love when they show like small clips, not of everyone, but of like some people. And I kind of was disappointed that they didn't do that.
Yeah, especially with the older stuff that we're not as familiar with. We get to see those iconic
Especially,
moments again.
those iconic like lines. Yeah, exactly. And the guy who played Hagrid. Yeah, like I think it would have been really cool to have seen that.
You're a wizard, Harry. That would have been a cool thing to show.
But in general, it was a really great show. Jimmy did a great job. I mean, he had a donkey there. He was pulling out all the stops.
Yeah. Some fun bits. So those were our thoughts on Hollywood's biggest night. We've been building to this. It's over. And now we can never talk about these movies ever again.
Yeah.
Which is fine. We've talked about them a lot. We're going to be our regularly scheduled program coming out on Wednesday, talking the finale of The Last of Us that we didn't watch yet, the finale of Poker Face, and the second episode of Mandalorian. And then your boy is going to break down Scream 6, which we went to see opening night with all the fans. We got a novelty cup. People were wearing the masks. Got a poster. It was very good. I'm going to talk about 4 and 5, and then we're going to talk about 6 with no spoilies, and then I'm going to say, we about to spoil it, so pause it or come back if you haven't seen it. But I'm excited to talk about Scream. That'll be on Wednesday. I hope you enjoyed our bonus episodes, Talkin Oscars. We'll be back doing bonus episodes around the Emmys, I assume, too.
Yes, definitely around the Emmys. Thank you, Craig, for the production assistance on this episode and getting it out super fast on a Sunday.
Yeah, Craig is very tired, but he's going to stay up and edit it and get it posted tonight so you're not overloaded. Subscribe so you know exactly when it's posted. Follow us on Talkin Tent. We were both on Twitter giving our opinions live in the moment. So if you wanted to see those, you would have to subscribe. So please do. Email us with any thoughts, any opinions, anything really. You just want to say hi at talkintent@gmail.com. From our living room to yours, we're sleepy. We watch the Oscars. Everything Everywhere All at Once is the best picture.
Woo! Googly eyes. Everything sucked into a bagel.